Welcome, welcome. We have our panel session right now. I just want to quickly welcome all the panelists over here, and perhaps what I'll do is I'll ask all of them to give a quick 1-minute introduction of yourself. The topic of our panel discussion today is about building businesses in a post-pandemic world, right? So very, very relevant to all the great things that we've been discussing here. So why don't we start with Andrew?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you for putting this on and inviting us to this panel. Yeah. I'm Andrew Condola. I'm the founder of Saturdays. We are a direct consumer eyewear brand based out of Indonesia. We offer affordable eyewear made for Asian consumers to fit and look great. I'm originally from the US and I've been living in Indonesia for more than 10 years now.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thanks for having me and us here. My name is Wisnu. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sampingan, based in Jakarta, Indonesia. We are a digital staffing platform. We provide blue-collar workers for larger enterprise. We are active in 80 cities across Indonesia, and happy to be here.
Hello. First of all, thanks for the event. We are really happy to be here. My name is Tuan Cheung, and I'm a co-founder and CEO of 1947. And 1947 exists to be the top of my family care in Vietnam, providing the seamless experience between in-person care and virtual care. And we want people to come to 1947 not because they are sick, but because they want a better healthcare. And we want to turn sick care into healthcare in Vietnam.
Thank you, and I close up the entire round. I'm sure I'm the oldest among here, among the co-founders, I meant. My name is Jan Ming. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Policy Street. We are an insurance technology company. We were actually a full-stack insurance technology company. So recently we've obtained our own reinsurance and general insurance license offshore. So we are agnostic in terms of the regions that we are in. So today we tend to underwrite policies on our own to be distributed to a lot of our partners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Well, so let me kick off with the first question, and let's make this a free flow discussion. I'm sure you guys have a lot of interesting ideas to share. So my first question is, the last 2 years has been a little bit of a twilight zone in the sense that we're going through the pandemic and all that. How has the pandemic shaped your business thinking?
I got a mix of Thanks. So during the pandemic, there was about 4 waves in Vietnam, and there was always a lockdown for every wave. So after 3 waves of lockdown, we was coming to the decision to either close our polyclinics, the one that we operate and set up from the very beginning, or because throughout the COVID, there's a huge growth in the online users on the telehealth. However, looking back, our original idea was that we an O2O healthcare platform, and we when we decided to keep our clinic throughout this COVID period, throughout the lockdown, we managed to train our staff to be the first private clinic to get the license to do COVID handling service. And after the 4th wave, when it comes to the 4th wave of COVID-19, the government started to allow private handling of the COVID. And we were the first private healthcare company to be able to do that. And it actually helped us to grow back our offline business together with our online. So throughout this pandemic, it helped me to rethink of when doing startup, you need to keep the core values, be consistent on what is your original idea is, what you're gonna try to stick to it, and then at the same time keep being innovative, and then something good gonna happen. So that's what happened to us during the COVID. Yeah.
Thanks, Swan. So I hear that keeping the core in mind
Yeah.
while being nimble.
Yeah.
In the same time, obviously, we also heard a lot about some of the business pivoting and all that. So that's an interesting point from you. Anybody else?
Maybe I'll just jump in. We actually tend to take a step back and conserve the funds that we have. Obviously, during COVID, we renegotiated a lot of our facilities that we had rented out at a point in time. We also went through an exercise to optimize our resources. I think that has proven to be quite fruitful for us, because obviously it has increased our runway. It's given us a step to take a step back to relook in terms of the businesses that we've been dabbling in, and in terms of how we can take that business forward. So yeah, the rest would I want to chime in. Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, I think for us, we had to find a new level of grit, right, and creativity. So we have an omni-channel strategy for Saturdays, and we had to close our offline stores, right, and that hurt, yeah. And so we had to look for new ways to grow, and we actually experimented a lot, right? So we actually started a home try-on service during the time, where we actually brought our opticians to customers' homes, dressed in the full COVID protocol, and we did eye testing, and we brought 100 frames, right? And this actually proved to be a very good channel for us to experiment with and actually move forward with. So this is one of our main channels going forward now.
Anything to add, Vishnu?
Similar to all the other guys, I guess. For us, we work in the HR space, and from day one, our focus is more on building the platform to scale without a lot of offline activities. It was very difficult in the early days to convince companies that digitization in HR is needed, and it's something that is the future. With COVID, of course, with the limitation, then it helped us to accelerate this change, and companies have been more open to all this change, and it's here to stay. So that is how, in a way, it actually helped us a few years get to that level of change. Yeah.
Thank you. So imagine for a moment, right? March 2020, you see the wave coming. Now fast forward to today. What do you anticipate correctly, and what has surprised you?
I think the rate, in terms of the recovery rate, how travel today has grown like tremendously. I mean, I flew in and nobody's wearing masks anymore nowadays. So everything's back to normal, and not just back to normal, but I think it's grown, maybe double what we had before COVID. So I think it's that pent up demand. So and that's why for us it's the same thing. I mean, for the businesses, I think everyone wants to go back to the new norm. Everyone wants to go back to normalcy. So I think that's what we are trying to do as well, to power up some of these businesses. Yeah.
I think for us, what surprised us is how quick people were able to adapt. Like the team itself, working remotely and still maintaining that level of consistency and output that we need. And that was interesting as well, because we didn't really. Initially we thought that was a huge challenge, and now it's with things opening up. The new challenge will be a bit of offline and online integration, the hybrid thing. But I think it shows that with our backs against the wall, we can continue and grow. Yeah.
What surprised us was that before the COVID, we were chasing after the doctors, but after the COVID, doctors chasing after us.
That's a great thing to have, though.
Yeah, because actually a lot of the behavior and people pay more attention to healthcare. Even in Vietnam, like Vietnam is way behind Singapore or even Indonesia in terms of healthcare. But now that people change their behavior after the COVID, so they pay more attention to healthcare, and we see like a good change in that. However, during the COVID, we anticipate that the online growth is a lot, but after the COVID, people get back to the pre-COVID is quite quick as well. That's what surprised us. Yeah.
Yeah, I would Yeah, I would just echo these comments. I mean, we were surprised how fast the consumer rebounded, right? There are multiple lockdowns in Indonesia, all across the country. Like all public places were closed for months at a time. And then once the government started reducing restrictions, that consumer just came back, right? So, and now it just feels like it never happened. Yeah.
Now, I'd like to ask you guys this question, right? The next 24 months, as investors at every stage, we always like to say, you have 24 months of runway, right? What are you going to do in the next 24 months? So, what interests you guys over the next 2 years? And what do you fear the most?
We were joking about KPIs because yeah. I mean, like after the COVID, we said so much potentials, especially in healthcare, as people are trying to grow more. There's so much opportunities in terms of a lot of people are looking into invest in healthcare. But what we are trying to do is what we're trying to focus on what we can do best. Because when there's so much opportunities, there's so much service, so much things that we can do, sometimes we're gonna lose focus, and that's probably something that startup need to try to avoid, because we have only limited numbers of resource and limited number of time. So what we're trying to do is trying to be focused when there's so many investors, so many people are trying to look into it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure Gavin has been keeping you focused. Yumi?
Yeah, I think people now tend to look at insurance more, more seriously. I think especially in emerging markets, people tend not to have insurance because obviously they think that I don't get anything out of it. It's intangible, right? I mean, I don't get something. I paid $10, I don't get anything out of it. I don't even get a curry puff, for example. So I think people will start to think more seriously about having the right form of protection, especially for their family, for their loved ones. And we ourselves are now undergoing this change in terms of how the digital economy is changing the way of how we live our lives. And that's why we have partnered with quite a fair bit of partners, with the latest one, Shopee, Grab, Foodpanda, and so forth, to make sure that these guys have got the right form of protection as they traverse through the entire digital space itself.
For us, I think the situation in Indonesia is, of course, the macroeconomy is not looking good. But with this, we see that like what happened during COVID, when things were difficult for companies, they always look for other solution that can help their business survive and scale, which in many ways have accelerated our growth as well. Like in COVID, we grew 3x during the period, and we see that with all the discussions coming in, with even initially only with smaller companies, tech companies, but now with larger enterprises coming to us like asking, what can we do during the upcoming recession? Like, what digital transformation is needed? What kind of solutions is available out there? With what we see in the next 2 years is people adapting to that kind of change, and it's great to see the more larger conventional businesses trying to adapt, opening their eyes into what we see as the future. So yeah, very excited about that.
Yeah, I think COVID was a great training ground for all of us, right? That as founders, in some, it's it feels like the worst case scenario, right? And this is just like a blip, right? But it really prepares us for the challenges ahead. I think everyone touched on that we all had to adapt to the reality of the situation, and that's kind of what we're doing now, right? And I think it helps that we're all working with great partner in Altara, right? That can kind of help guide us along the way. And I think for us, what's exciting is kind of this vision tech that's up and coming. Things like virtual try-on and augmented reality, so you can actually make a purchase easier in your home. And then also we're getting back to growth, like focusing on growing across Indonesia, both through technology, but also through physical outlets. So I think we're excited to become the top of mind brand in Indonesia.
Great, great. So one last question, and it's a quick one, because I don't want to hold everyone back from the drink. So just real quick, what is the one most exciting thing that you guys are working on right now?
I mean, I think for us, we are working on new collections. I mean, this is what's really exciting for us. So, I mean, we have our standard, collection. I hope everyone got a pair of glasses, and you can be sporting them. So those are our sunglasses with Zeiss polarized lenses. So just enjoy, yeah. But we're actually tapping into new markets, which is very exciting for us. So we started really with a solid middle and up kind of market, and now we're going into kids. So we're launching kids lines, and then also we're launching a brand more focused on Gen Z, so highly affordable glasses, and then we're actually tapping into this collaborations, right? So this is something that we're really excited working on. We have a collaboration with Marvel right now. We're working with other, international brands on upcoming things, as well as very strong local brands. So tapping into different communities is something that we're very excited about.
For us, I think it's we've continued to expand our service offerings by acquiring traditional staffing agencies so that we can provide more services and add more value to our existing customers. We've made that transaction a few months back, and it's looking very good. So I think that's the thing that we're most excited about, is making more of these acquisitions, and therefore providing more services and adding more value to our customers.
For us, recently we've been released a package, what we call 24/7 medical assistant for moms and baby from 0 to 3 years old. It's where the time when most of the babies get sick all the time. So, and they can get in touch with one of the medical advisor anytime within 5 minutes of contacts. And we've been overwhelmed by the receipt of that, and now we need more resource and more people to work on that project. So it's been exciting, and we see a strong demand in that. People need more assistance, more medical advice on the family care. So that keeps us very exciting going forward. Yeah.
Awesome, Yemi.
Yeah, so I'll close it up as usual. We're looking to, actually we've started developing our own products, developing our own insurance products, underwriting our own products. Hopefully in the near future we'll be able to insure your spectacles, your hair, your love maybe. It has, there is a product by the way called Love Insurance in China. Yeah, but yeah, I think we definitely hope to develop more sophisticated, more innovative products for the market. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.